Hi, folks. This is Mountain Man coming to you from parts unknown. How are you all doing this evening? Ha ha ha. Well, we'll do a follow up on what's been happening since the big rally. Really a historic day. It takes a little time to sink in. People were pretty stunned by the turnout. It's left a lot of these new so-called news services speechless. So we'll get some people in the chat, so I'll see how my broadcast is doing. I'm not multi-streaming tonight. To cut down on the chances of having a jittery stream or a buffering stream, we want to try to have things go through pretty smooth. And I put in my thumbnail about Rakita. I got to make sure I spelled his name right. I can change it after I do the broadcast. But anyway, Rekieta Falls. A lot of you might not know what that means, but I do. And I was given a hint about him and some other attorneys I've been watching on UTizzle and my disappointment in their treatment of their profession, representation of their profession, and daggone if it didn't turn out to be almost prophetic. You know, I don't like that term, but anyway, I'll get into that in a little bit. I want to see how many people are coming in and make sure I got a good signal before I get too involved in stuff. And I like this picture. This was Dan Scavino. Dan Scavino put this picture up. And the only thing I could think of was, right, dark to light, right? The sun shining right down. And that's in the Bronx. And the number of people exceeded, they say, 25,000. A lot of people saying over 30,000. And I have a friend of mine, Plumber Intel, sent me a video I copied, going to play for you all. A lady who gave us a speech, a real nice speech. Hi, Kim, how you doing? MS Motorsports, how you doing? Sherry, Melinda, honey, how you doing? Ha ha ha. All right. You're in the UK. Oh, man, you must be a night owl. Early morning. Let's see. Hi, David. Yeah, 5x5, good. Tennessee, how you doing? Flannel Cheese, how you doing? Hi, Gloria. Well, I'm glad everybody's coming in. Hit the thumb. Thank you, Tennessee. I keep forgetting. Hit the thumbs up. And that helps to get the video around. I'm just checking the chat. See, all right. Hi, Miss Minutsu. How are you doing? All right. Ha ha ha. That's good to hear. Everybody seems to be in a good mood. Well, I tell you. So in case somebody hits the video to see what I got to say about this Nick Rakita, I'll get into that. But I will tell you that we're going to talk tonight in this stream. Last night I talked about the positive vibes, the triumph, the good feelings, the positivity, the people wide-eyed and really enjoying themselves. But, you know, Mr. T is a master communicator, and he put out there some things that are seeds that are going to sprout in people's minds. That's already sprouted in our minds. And I'll talk about that after I talk about Nick Rakita. But that is a briefcase that his uncle talked about, okay, from MIT, all right? How he talked about these migrants that are up to something we've never seen before. Remember that? He had that in the speech. And some other little hints that are going to get people thinking beyond, gee, our city needs to be cleaned up. And gee, you know, we ought to have more of this and more of that. in this particular city. Seeds don't plant trees, you plant seeds, okay? And they're going to sprout, and the people are going to start thinking about what he said. So anyway, if you all would remember, during the Kyle Rittenhouse trial, I think I can say his name safely now. Remember, I couldn't even say his name. Hi, Melinda. Awake at Trillium. How you doing? 2:25 a.m. Oh, my goodness. And well, thank you for being with us, honey. So, when Debbie, how you doing? When Kyle Rittenhouse was on trial, and before Kyle Rittenhouse trial, I watched Rakita Law. And you all know I recommend attorneys to watch. And the main two I recommend are, among others, Viva Frey and Robert Gavoya. Well, in the past, I used to recommend Rakita Law because he was dedicated. I mean, if the Rittenhouse trial was on, he was on, and he covered it if he had to stay up 12-hour broadcast if he had to. And he had good guests. They knew when to interject. They knew, it was quality. So I tuned in a couple of times afterwards when there was nothing happening, because I subscribed. And I told a lot of my people, I said, hey, you got to check. And, I was a drop in the bucket that he ended up getting for almost 500,000 subscribers. I was a drop, a couple hundred, maybe 500 people went over there. But his quality of his broadcastings were going down. His language was atrocious. His personal life was atrocious. His alcohol use became atrocious. I didn't bring it up. I didn't talk about it. I've seen other attorneys, not nearly like this. But you can imagine my considerations of his behaviors when I take umbrage with attorneys who really don't do their profession any favors by using filthy language or getting in personal disputes and not focusing on law, like a playground fights and stuff like that. It's ridiculous, and I was going to touch on that, but I also knew. That's why I brought it up last night that Rekieta was in trouble. Hi, hilarious too. That's right, Robert Gavoya. He's one of the best. Jet lag, how you doing? Well, he could do a lively live stream, can't he? Hilarious. Hi, Roland, how you doing? Well, anyway, turns out this guy has gotten himself involved in some behaviors. I'm just going in my opinion, because they, so a lot of them say, I'm expert in slander and that. Okay, whatever. I think the way this character's been acting is degenerate. All right, and he would come on stream, pissy, excuse my language, drunk, and what prompted my comments yesterday was a lot of people were talking about it. He did a live stream, which I won't get into too much detail. But one of the main things, among other faux pas on camera, was him coming out of his own bathroom with white powder on his nose in a very looped out state. Well, he got arrested. And it is so sad. People were putting pictures up of him before he got into this state and what he looked like now at the time of the live streams. I might as well put this up while I'm talking too. CNN's falling apart. Just to give you all something else to look at. But anyway, he's gotten arrested on some serious charges, and apparently the cops had to kick down his door. He wouldn't let the police in. He's got 5 kids. Him, his wife, and allegedly their girlfriend, okay, all got arrested, and Rakita was charged. They all suffered charges. I don't know who got what, but possession of 25 grams or more of a controlled substance, I believe it was either cocaine or meth, and having a firearm with that kind of amount of illegal substances, and I guess the term would be child neglect. Okay, a gross misdemeanor, because kids were in the house while they were all allegedly smoked up, cracked up, coked up, whatever term you want to use. So he went to his arraignment today. They said his bond is $50,000. It's just such a smack, in the face to see for a lot of people that used to watch him and then lost interest and then come back and see what he's turned himself into. And a lot of people say, no, don't kick him when he's down. And, he'll make a comeback and all this. He may very well do it. But I've said in the past that only just a handful of people who get involved in with addictive substances like heroin, coke, meth, a very small percentage ever get off of it. And it may seem like I'm being a little rough on him myself, which it doesn't matter. He'll never see my stream, but I hope he does, because maybe something I say can help him. But a lot of people don't see the point that I'm going to bring up. When you're dealing with people that are addicted, there's different types. You have people that are addicted and they are miserable and they hate it. They know they're miserable. They're sick and tired of being sick and tired. But you can go all the way up to the level that I believe or am afraid that Mr. Rakita's at. It's kind of like an arrogant masochism. An arrogant masochism. They feel that they are unique, that they're stronger than any drug, that the people that are trying to tell them something they don't want to hear don't understand the power they possess to control such things. The people that get themselves in trouble with these kind of substances are inferior with their abilities and mental strength and willpower, and that they are superior. But deep, deep down, they know they're hurting themselves. And that's where the arrogant masochism comes in. And I'll talk more about him. He's today, during his arraignment, bail hearing, whatever it was. Excuse me while I was sipping coffee. He was telling the judge that he's going to represent this supposed girlfriend and his wife that he got arrested with. And right away, the judge said what a lot of people were saying. Other attorneys, and there are good attorneys with good opinions. I'm not bashing all attorneys. That he has a duty as an officer of the court to not engage in anything that might harm a potential client, no conflicts, his wife and the so-called girlfriend have an inherent constitutional right to have an unbiased defense. And the judge picked up on it right away. But he said, I'll leave that for the trial judge, or which he was just doing the preliminaries, But he picked up on it right away. I don't know, maybe it's because he was so hopped up yesterday afternoon when they got him drunk. He hadn't had time to gather himself to think clearly. I don't know, but I can tell you this. Until he cleans himself up spiritually, humbles himself, because anybody who thinks they're more powerful than those drugs, anybody who puts their 5 children in a psychological nightmare of living with drugged out people, anybody that thinks there's anything good about that, if they can't recognize the harm and the damage they're doing, never mind going in public on the internet with the gift that he got of 500,000 subscribers, the power he had to do things to influence for the good. He threw it all in the gutter. His reputation, his family name, his wife and his whatever that thing was with him, and him too. What did we read in the Bible? Dishonoring their bodies. Foolish, captive women. Arrogant men, lovers of self. Till you get past that and humble yourself and try to live in a way that you can comport yourself with some dignity, you're never going to get out of it. And if you're arrogant enough to think that what I'm saying is off base, keep being arrogant. Keep being an arrogant masochist. And the reason they take children away from drug addicts is because it's dangerous. It's psychologically abusive to have children living in a house with people that are off to Mars somewhere on drugs. So, what a crossroads. The second crossroads. The first crossroads, he was an attorney with a sense of humor, a little bit crass, would play little drinking games, and taste tests and stuff during long streams. Nothing wrong with that. To this, after he reached success. He had a crossroads back then. Stay under control. All these people that are coming to me, how can I put forth a message that will make society better, help people understand the world around them better? How can I understand the world around me better? How can I build a better society, help build a better society for my children to grow up in? Or take my money and my fame, my fans, my notoriety, my neighbor's wife that's winking at me, and throw my life in the gutter. So, and if anybody criticizes me, I'm going to get angry because I am superior and nobody knows how to do meth or coke or whatever the hell it is as good as I can do it. They don't know what they're talking about. and my kids will be just fine. Are you on that road? Remember the story I said about Padre Pio? Padre Pio. There are videos about him you can watch on YouTube. P-I-O. When somebody came to him with a particularly heinous thing they've done. A monk traveled all the way to see Padre Pio and confessed what he did was something nasty, terrible, awful. Padre Pio threw him out of the confessional. He said, "Go and clean your filthy soul." He didn't say, "You're going to hell." He didn't say, "I don't care about you." He didn't say, "God rebukes you." No, he said, "Go and clean your filthy soul." Half a decade later, he'd done penance. He swore he would never do it again. His repentance, his remorse was genuine. You could feel it. He came back and he found grace. He found forgiveness. Arrogance won't get you that. And so, no, I don't want anything bad to happen to this man. I do want him to find happiness, and for his children to find happiness, and for his relationship with his wife to find stability and dignity again. But it'll never happen unless he humbles himself and accepts responsibility and goes and cleans his filthy soul. So anyway, that's what I've got to say about Nick Rakita. Yeah, Padre Pio had the stigmata. Lori, hi Lori, how are you? Well, what I don't know if she was winking at him, or I think he just got her on that white powder. They call it booger sugar. Pappy Two Bears, how you doing? That's exactly right, Hilarious too. He had a GUN, and he had quite a bit. They used to call it years ago, if you had that amount, 25 grams or more, you were a kingpin. A kingpin. Yeah, okay. I guess I spelled it right in my thumbnail. I don't know, David. That does look right, but I just had to get up quick. Hi, Finding Dory. How are you? So I don't want to be harsh on him, but when you see somebody, like I said, to get on top of that YouTube mountain and have all the possibilities of what you could do and how many people you could help and the influence you can have in a positive way for our society to find comity, C-O-M-I-T-Y, among the body politic and among society, the power you have to influence that and to take it and throw it in the trash and behave in such a guttural way and laugh about it, brag about it. Yeah, he's looking at 25 to 30 years on the charges. Now, what's he going to do? Go cold turkey? I don't think so. But if he gets out and doesn't get help, he's got to go to testing. They're going to check him, make sure he's not using drugs or alcohol. And if he doesn't get some professional help, what do you think is going to happen? But anyway, we'll keep an eye on it. He's got a contract with Bumble, where he also live streams. I don't know how that's going to be affected. He wants to be his own attorney. That's another sign of arrogance. Pride go before the fall, right? So anyway, we'll talk about him as events dictate. So we're all clowns and we all make mistakes. Yeah, Wanda, he's an attorney that did coverage of the Kyle Rittenhouse trial and other big trials people like to watch, the YouTube crowd. 500,000 subscribers is nothing to shake a stick at. And he just, for, I guess, on the better part of the year, he's been nothing but a filthy mouth drunk. And now doing much worse than that. And the other thing people want to talk about is kids. You don't get that amount of illicit chemicals or whatever it is from the milkman, okay? Or you don't go down to the pharmacy. Oh, I'd like to get 25 grams of methamphetamine or cocaine. Okay, yeah, the good stuff. No, okay, how much would that be? Yeah, here's my insurance card. No, you go down some stinking dark alley, all right? You meet with some damn dangerous people. 9 times out of 10. Maybe he's got somebody really nice that supplies it. But if he's got any damn brains in his head, whoever's been giving him that stuff better be, let me tell you, sing, Rakita, sing like a bird. It's your first offense. Just remember Al Sharpton. I had that surveillance video where he rolled over on a bunch of, was it Crips or whatever they were, Bloods or Crips, and their drug dealing, got himself out of a lot of trouble. So anyway, we'll see which way that ball bounces. But then again, arrogance. Let me tell you something. Arrogance. Hi, Gary. How you doing? Ha ha. Arrogance is what gets him. And Mark Kahn's another one of them. He's arrogant. That's right, Kim. He just never, he used to be, when he was, just have a few drinks or no drinks and guests and do a live stream and explain to us what the court was doing, what the objections were on big cases like Kyle Rittenhouse and Amber Heard and stuff like that. It was quality content, and it just got into the gutter. So now he's got a second fork in the road. And he better get some help. That's all I can say, because he ain't going to climb that mountain by himself. But anyway, back to the historic rally. It was going to be called a meeting, but I'm sorry, it's a rally. 25 to 30,000 people. They tried to minimize it. There's no way they can minimize it. They're throwing, against the wall, seeing what will stick, attacking Alito. I'll go over some of that stuff. And by extension, Clarence Thomas. Eileen Cannon is smacking Jack Smith around in a very professional way. I mean, he's asking for it. He's getting it. They were hiding stuff and misrepresenting stuff and requesting that things be sealed that should not have been sealed. And you open it up and look at it. What do you got? You got misrepresentations, exaggerations. What does he expect? When they get caught, what happens? They get mad. Got loud in the courtroom. And Eileen Cannon said, I'm going to have to ask you to calm down. Quiet down. Very nice the way she did it. Not like Mercan did, because he thought Costello gave him a look. He started yelling in front of the jury at a witness and then threw the press out and cleared the courtroom and continued a tirade against the witness. But they're saying Eileen Cannon is treating Jack Smith unfair because one of his prosecutors got a big mouth on him and was clapping his hands while he's making points. This makes no sense. And she said, you need to calm down. That's all she said. I'm going to have to ask you to calm down. Very nice. Because who wants somebody talking like this? It's like Robert Gavoya says, when you have the facts, you pound the facts. If you don't have the facts, you pound the table. What is it? Facts and something else. Rakita was a targeted hit. Oh, Lori, no, he was gone. I mean, his live streams were disgusting. He was, I don't even want to tell you what his last stunt was. He was, maybe, they said somebody walked into the police office and reported what was going on, and that's how they got a warrant to go to his house. And he had a code lock on his door. He wouldn't tell the police the code to get into the house, so they forced the door open. Somehow he ended up with a black eye. I don't know if that was big. Somebody spotted that on the stream before the raid or what, but there's nothing about him resisting or anything like that. So I don't know that whole story. But somebody got tired of seeing a house full of kids with 3 drug addicts in the house. And the other thing was he would make statements. He would be so drunk, it'd be like, I don't know, early in the morning, 2, 3, 4 in the morning. I didn't know how long he streamed. But his last stream was 4 hours. And he said, well, sometimes I get up and I take the kids to a soccer game, or I just get up and take the kids and we ride around because they're homeschooled. They don't got to go to school. And people are like, you ride around? Look at you. You're a wreck. My screen froze up. Huh. What's going on? All right. So anyway, here's some. I just got this screenshot because nobody's talking about it, but it's true. Mark Dice did a story about this, CNN, and I think Tim Pool might mention something about it. CNN's worst in 33 years. Good. Has this been frozen a while? Oh, do I got chats frozen on my screen? I hate when that happens. Oh. I don't know. Do I have chats frozen on my screen? Yeah, his children saw the front door being taken down. Who knows what they've seen? Things children shouldn't have to see. Nobody can feel safe with a cokehead, drunken cokehead running around the house, babbling in the internet till 4 in the morning. Yeah, he probably hooked up with Hunter. Hi, Kicking Bird. How you doing? Yeah, he was podcasting high, Wanda. That's exactly right. He told on himself. I mean, he would have on Rumble 15,000 people during some of his streams. And you don't sit there and obviously be blissed and people know you got kids and know this and know that. You leave, the screen is just sitting there looking at an empty chair. He's in the bathroom forever. He comes out snorting, sniffing, and white powder on his nose and continues to babble. One eyeball going up, one eyeball going down, babbling. Somebody in that crowd, 15,000 bots? Not on Bumble, Andrew. He would have that many on Bumble. YouTube, I don't know what his view count was. Pretty high. He had 500,000. Here, I can put this up now. Right here. I didn't want to put it up early in the stream because the rhythm will read your text. So you see that word there, RADIACL. I can't say that. I got a video taken down one time because I called the guy from the Young Turks when he was talking about fornicating with a farm animal. I said he was a RADILCAL prevert, okay? And they took the video down for that. So anyway, but Time Magazine can put this up, no problem. Call him a radical. That he's shocking the world. Not that he's improved the economy by 76%, okay? Turn the country around. They're not going to show still shots or videos like I've shown of people crying, happy, what the vote count was, the landslide victory. They don't show any of that. They just put a picture up and say, the radical. How Javier Milei shocks the world. It's getting disgusting with this bunch. Here's the one I like. Elon Musk fired 90% of Twitter's workforce and is still functioning perfectly. Government employees. That's right, Angela. Our founding fathers were considered RADILC. Do you all want to see? Now, let me see. Do you all want to see? I got all these memes. Here we go. Here's some thumbnails, y'all. I like George. I could have got Doug in Exile, put his thumbnail up, and I switch him up a little time. Firebrand Media, that's Beheezy George. Cut the crap. She didn't say cut the crap, but he describes the day in court, can't let loose on Jack Smith. So they're crumbling, they're falling apart. All of them. Bragg, Fannie Willis, Jack, and I'm sure behind the scenes we're going to see what happens with Tish James. Okay, so we'll let it play out and see. But let me see. I've got a video. I might have to go out and get it. Well, here's one I'll play real quick. I was telling you all about the blue meanies. The blue meanies. That's what I'm going to start calling them. Here's some people that put up some Trump stuff, and like I said, they're having fun. I talked about it last night. This is a blue meanie in action, abusing his dog. Now, I'm just kidding, but...
Take one to no one?
Why don't you try it?
No, thank you, my girls.
Trump,
No, thank you, my girls.
He'll be in jail by the time he gets elected president. Thought you didn't like the police. Fuck you. No thanks. Fuck you.
They're angry people. They are so angry people. They're angry.
You can go to jail.
They're angry people.
Oh, good. I'm sure they're in favor of you causing a bunch of bullshit.
Poor thing.
Have a release time for you.
That's assaulting what you're doing.
So they said him and somebody else came back and flipped their table over. Just a bunch of blue meanies. And we're the radicals, right? There he is, a blue meanie. Look at him. So anyway, did you all see that speech a lady gave before Trump went up? I'll have to see. Let me see here. Let me go into video, photo. And, you know, I've talked a lot. I know. Let me find that recording. Here she is. I'll put her up on the screen. Let me see if you all heard her. Yeah, the poor doggy is dragging that dog around. Okay, let me see. Did you all see this lady before Trump gave his speech? Because I'm going to play the better part of her speech. And let me tell you, you talk about waking people up. You talk about a beam of light. And she said at the beginning, we're not listening to you. Apparently there was somebody being a blue meanie, even though I didn't hear a bit of it. She said, we're going to drown you out. She was talking to the blue meanies. But anyway, she touches on a lot of subjects. And I think it's something we ought to share around as much as possible. And a lot of people saw Trump, but they didn't see the other speakers, you know? A lot of people do that. I do that. This was because a friend of mine sent this to me. It was a TikTok, but I found it on RSBN and copied it. I'll go ahead and play it now, let you all enjoy it. And new people coming in, I appreciate y'all stopping by. Please take time to listen how the average person thinks and not what the mainstream media tells you to think.
How many of you out there are lifelong Democrats who have walked away from the plantation of the Democratic Party and are now voting Republican because of the way that we were neglected and ignored and pushed to the side? Our communities, especially poor minority communities. Let me make this clear. When I say poor, I mean black, white, Hispanic, Jewish, Asian. All of us are in this together. Italians, all of us are in it. All of us are in this together. All right? This is not a black issue. This is not a white issue. This is not a Democratic issue. This is not a Republican issue. This is a human issue. We got severe poverty in the Bronx. We got unemployment. We got crime. We got failing schools. We got dilapidated housing. We got abortion clinics on every damn corner. Not to mention liquor stores and weed spots and safe injection sites all over our communities. We're looking for Donald Trump to deliver for our communities, to make the major investments. Let's replace the drugs and the guns with hammers and nails and drills and steel workers. Use our young men. Use our young men that are involved in the criminal justice system to rebuild the housing. Use them, pay them decent salary so they can afford to take care of their children and their family and help lift us up out of poverty. Keep your welfare. We don't want your welfare. We want jobs. Create jobs. Decent paying jobs. Educational opportunities. Initiatives that'll help our young men avoid incarceration. Stop commit more crime. Put real initiatives in place that will save their lives. Sometimes jail, sometimes people are not arrested, they're rescued. So when we continuously have this revolving door, we're actually setting our young men and women up to be killed, to kill themselves or someone else.
Yeah, she had two children. Two children. I'm interrupting her here. She'll tell you in a minute, but she had one son. At the beginning, she talked about how she lost her first son. He wasn't bothering anybody. He was a service member, okay? He was a sergeant, I believe in the Army. And, you know, he lost his life. The word she uses, trust and safety, I can't use. Nothing foul, but, you know, he met a violent end at the hands of criminals. And Alvin Bragg really let her down. Okay, I'll put it that way. And if you want to watch the beginning part where she talks in more detail about that, I believe it starts at the 47-minute with RSBN, but I'll let her continue, okay?
It's a serious conversation. This ain't no joke. There are lives, human lives that are dead. Not to mention the fentanyl poisoning. How many lives were lost due to fentanyl poisoning? I also have a son, Rayvon, who got a hold of some bad cocaine that was laced with fentanyl. So I have two sons dead in the grave in less than 3 years. Hassan murdered, Rayvon, fentanyl poisoning. These are real issues. I'm a real person. I go to work every single day, and I can't even afford to pay rent, or I have to make a decision to pay rent or buy food. I look in my refrigerator right now. My refrigerator is empty because I decided to do my laundry. Then we have the illegals flooding our borders, coming into our communities, sucking up the resources that we barely have. Why should we allow this to happen? Every last person here needs to rise up and get fighting mad, and make sure that you are registered to vote and go out there and you vote up and down the line, not just the presidency. The local elections are more important than the presidency. Get rid of AOC. Vote her ass out. Get rid of Richie Torres. Vote his ass out. I have nothing to lose. So I can stand up here and I can say this. None of you here are paid to be here. She got on color TV this morning and said that Trump busted in these people and paid everyone out here. Who here got paid to be here today? Are you here because you know that this is the time in history that you're in the right place at the right time and you need to be here today? We don't want the Republicans to take our vote for granted like the Democrats did for 50 years. Get Tina, vote in Tina. I'm sorry. Tina Forte. That's right. And I also like to give a quick shout out to Latina Brown, and to Derek Gibson for organizing that pre-Trump rally that was over in the South Bronx the other day, which had a lot to do with the momentum that we have here today. So we need to keep this going. All right, we need to be true to who we are. Don't be afraid. Don't back down. Get down there, get out there and vote like your life depends on it, because it does.
Now that was a mic drop moment. She didn't even need to have a mic in her hands, and you could hear the mic drop. Vote like our life depends on it, because it does. And let me tell you something. There was no prepared speech. There was no teleprompter. Those words were all from the heart. When you lose 2 sons in a 3-year period, you think about it, and you think about it, and you think about it, and it rolls off your tongue. If you're speaking from the heart, you're speaking with passion, and you're speaking with the truth. And that's exactly what you saw with this lady right here. And it's exactly why I go over so many things over and over again, because everything that I try to bring forward is true. About the VAX, how they use and abuse our financial system, and it destroys the economy, and many, many other things. But here's if you all want to go to truth and then social, I'm Mountain Man. Mountain Man Says. I put up 2 things. You can tap on them and make copies. No communism nor Muslims should be allowed to hold any public office because they cannot swear allegiance to our Constitution. It's a fact. The look you make after being deported to Kenya. Okay? I put that replying to Citizen Free Press. Please add to Agenda 47. Hi, Lone Wolf. How you doing? Let me see here. I want to thank Gary and Bev and Mike for stopping by me a coffee. I'm on the big screen with Bev and Mike. I do appreciate it very much. And in the same vein, this is another meme you can use. Says the same thing what the meme I posted on Truth Social. No one with dual citizenship should be allowed to hold office in any country. We've got to be able to remember these things and say these things. How in the world would you want to put your future, your traditions, your government, your laws in the hands of someone who has fealty to another nation, another government? It's ridiculous. It just should go without saying. Hi, Em. How you doing? Yes, please smash the like button. I appreciate it if you do. So, now they're all after Judge Alito. They put this out. I don't know where they're going to go with it. NBC, Supreme Court Justice Alito sold Bud Light stock amid boycott. Well, of course he should have. He's got a right to own what he wants to own. I think he's doing it a favor. Alito, Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light. What are you trying to shame him? But here's where they came out. Lawrence O'Donnell, where is that creep? Creep King. Lawrence O'Donnell said he got caught. Judge Alito got caught. Where is that? Flying a flag. An upside down flag. Oh, I had a picture of it. But anyway, here's Lawrence O'Donnell. I don't play his videos because he's obnoxious. He makes my blood pressure go up. I call him Lord Haw Haw. If you have a chance to look that up and see his story, Lord Haw Haw. New York Times, another flag associated with J, and then the number is 6, flown at Alito's vacation house. He got caught. How do you get caught flying a flag? But he had the American flag upside down. Now this one was, oh goodness, I wiped that off my screen. This one was a cedar tree, an appeal to heaven flag. This is the same report. Another provocative flag was flown at another Alito home. This time it was the appeal to heaven flag, which, like the inverted U.S. flag, was carried by rioters at the cap. Oh, yeah, okay. Okay. He got caught. No, it's an international sign of distress. It's been internationally recognized for hundreds of years that is a sign of distress, either a vessel or a country in distress. And that's where I first started having conflicts with people that were on YouTube. I don't want to keep beating the drum, but if you're a veteran, yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate it. But this one guy was saying, let me catch you flying the flag upside down, see what I do to you. And I was like, you can't say that to people. This was another live stream, another person's live stream. Yeah, well, like he was going to get violent with somebody. And he was saying, I didn't wear the uniform for people to fly the flag upside down. And that's when I started really getting upset with people that try to use their military service as a cudgel against people's free speech, especially when it's righteous free speech. But anyway, on a lighter note, AOC demands to know where Alito bought an upside-down U.S. flag. Well, yeah, it's not only freedom of speech, Angela, it is an accepted signal. It's a signal that your country is in distress. And that's what Alito is saying. And remember, he put out an order in Pennsylvania to keep the pieces of paper that everybody filled out, to secure them for further investigation, and they ignored his court order. And I have said, I think there's going to be repercussions over that. We shall see. We shall see. Here you go. Speaking of blue meanies, I am the resistance. The blue wave of November. I'm sorry to do that to you folks, but it's reality. Look at the background there. Hope, dope, and I'm with her. Pink hat. Oh, that's awful looking, isn't it? And don't forget, June's coming. June's coming. They get a whole month. Alphabet propaganda, me trying to live my life. Keep putting it out there, folks. Look here, somebody dug up from May 24th, 2021. Ilhan Omar. That's a screenshot of a CNN. Omar, quote, get rid of the JEWSs to end anti-Semitism. Okay? It wouldn't be a problem if we got rid of all the JEWs, right? May 24th, 2021. It's a Babylon Bee article. But anyway, that's basically what they're saying when they say from the river to the sea. They want to get them all out. Ethnic cleansing. There's no other way to describe it. But you use humor when you can. Here you go. Where's AOC? Boy, she got it. She got it from that lady. That lady said, throw her ASS out, AOC. And you heard the guy in the cowboy hat dressing down AOC. How she got in Congress, Kim, it's all crooked. It's all crooked. Really? Wanda's been flying her flag upside down. Well, you didn't get caught by O'Donnell, Lawrence O'Donnell. Oh, here. Let me see. Here's a creep, right? I'll show you the creep first. Then I'm going to show you something I put up 2 years ago. Remember this creep? Hunter's sugar daddy. They called him a sugar bro. Cuts funding after CIA protection revealed. Something's going on here. But anyway, this is the guy that was buying Hunter's paintings for ridiculous amounts of money. He's backing out. He got wind of something. I don't like saying this, and I don't say it very much, but I think we're in for another. Somebody's going to get their cage rattled, and it ain't going to be Trump. Something's going to happen. Backing off like that. Maybe it'll be this guy. He's an attorney. He's got a lot of money. They got pictures of him on the balcony of Hunter's hotel smoking a bong and stuff like that. He's been pumping money to Hunter. So maybe it'll be this creep. I don't know. But here is a picture I put up 2 years ago. You guys remember this? Bubba, Robin, Tennessee might remember this. Well, the New York Post did an article about this guy. New York City correction officer shares racist biscuits and gravy posts about Georgia jail, sparking an investigation. Oh, yeah? Well, I put it up 2 years ago. Here you go. Here is the offending post. Let me blow it up for you. They must serve some good biscuits and gravy at the Department of Corrections. And right there it is. And I put this post up to show how they hire people they can easily control. They hire people that would never be able to function in any kind of productive job to get an income. Give them authority, give them a badge, give them a salary. It doesn't have to be that they're a P3DO. It can be whatever of the 7 deadly sins, okay? Gluttony, all right? Lust, greed. They can parlay that into having their total subservience in order to keep their badges, their guns, their 2 uniforms or 3 uniforms sewn together to make 1 uniform, you know. In order to keep that, they'll do whatever they're told. They'll violate people's rights. They'll cover up things. But anyway, I put in the comments that this post was put up by Citizen Man 2 years ago. He's not allowed on this platform anymore. He's been thrown off half a dozen times. I think he still posts on maybe Bumble and Facebook. And he is a black guy. And he's the one that put this post up. So they want to say it's RACIST. They can go talk to Citizen Man. And I ought to check that article out and see if I can get a hold of this this guy here, New York correction officer, and tell him just what I said so he can defend himself. Now, like I think it was Wanda said, how do these people get in office? Well, it ain't because they get voted in. Believe me, here's Montana. Do you think the people in Montana voted for this? Montana parents who lost custody of a daughter after exposing gender transition claim 14-year-old was taken without a warrant. They're not going to give in. They oppose the school pumping that garbage in their kids' heads, or any so-called doctor coming up and trying to do things to alter their child. And they claim they lost custody. Nobody wants that. Parents have to go through that. But the schools, you got to flush the commode in the schools. Here you go. Another thing from Babylon Bee. Miss O'Leary's third grade social studies class passes official resolution ordering Israel out of Rafah. Yes, 18, no 2. I thought to myself, well, they should have put a purple-haired blue meanie up as a teacher. But the fact is, there are O'Leary's, doers that go along with the media narrative and try to pump that same garbage into kids' heads. They're not all a bunch of blue meanies. So we got to get the truth out, get the light shining on this stuff. Here we go. Because if society was run by God-hating elites, oh, wait a minute, that's what we got now. Boy, that one on the bottom left. You know, these weren't made up pictures. The one with the goat's head and the flowers, that was a White House Christmas one, or was that the satanic display in a government building? I believe that's what that is. Oh, that's right, Tennessee. I agree 100%. I agree 100%. The thing is, I was getting in battles. And half the time, when I would go on guest streams a couple of years back, you'd end up late night and people drinking and carrying on. And every time somebody didn't agree with somebody and they were a veteran, they took a superior attitude and a menacing attitude when they were wrong. They were wrong about the flag being flown upside down, about if a lawful authority tells you to stay in your house, there's a military operation going on, stay in your house to be safe. Oh, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. Let me tell you, it's so awful, and it happens in such a quick second, half a second, when people do something like that, and it only takes a half a second, and it's over. And at the same time, people were hollering, we need the military to get involved. We need the military to round people up. Well, when they do, we got to help them by not being a burden, by being prepared, by having plenty of water, not running up and saying, I need this and I need that. Or if they say, stay in your house, we got something going on, go get in the house, go in the basement and be safe. Screw you, I'm an American. They can't have it both ways. So that's when I got in arguments. And then I got an argument. Well, I won't get into that one. I'll talk about that in another situation. Yeah, it was an anti-Christmas display in a government building. Here we go. There is only one solution in our battle against bird flu. There you go. I think this is a good one that needs to be shared around. Because there's still nitwits going around with masks on. Ha ha ha. Stub muffin. What in the world? AOC, what did they say? Her boyfriend looked like Howdy Doody? That's what they said. So, anyway, but that's a good meme right there. Because they're going to come up with that, folks. Here we go. Ha ha ha, that's a good one. Good all-American one. Let's see. Well, here we go. Here is from New York Post. Uptown Funk. Trump storms deep blue Bronx with a love fest. Well, just remember, it was. That's why I talk mostly about the positive things. The positive things that the feelings, the vibes he evoked, and it was great. And that's why I talk about it. But he also talked about his uncle. Again, he brought up his uncle working for MIT. And the fact that, and he said, my uncle told me they would have a briefcase in the future that would be able to contain a device that could destroy an entire city. And I told my uncle, no, that can't be. They'll never be able to come up with something like that. He said, oh, yes, they will. And they did. And that's Trump letting us know. Because years ago, a couple of years ago, when people were hot to trot about the military doing something right now, I brought that up, a suitcase BOMB. And we had heard that there were a certain number of them that in existence accounted for, and a certain number that were not accounted for. We may be at a stage where they know where they're at or have actually gotten physical possession of them. But until we did, I didn't feel that there would be any strong moves made against the cabal until they had control of those devices. And I know people from the outside looking in will say I'm a crazy person. But this is the third time I've heard Trump bring up that specific scenario about a device being so small you could put it in a suitcase and could destroy a city. You guys are my witnesses. Well, they had their own little rally over in Iran. Look at that crowd. Huh? What is it? Somebody running for office? What is that? Big crowd. Thousands of Iranians chanted DEATH to America at the mausoleum where President Ibrahim Raisi, who died in a plane crash, was buried. Just so you all keep in mind, MB, all right, Muslim, and then the other word is brotherhood. Don't forget that. Tied into a lot of people, like a lot of important people, powerful people, like John Kerry, John McStain, Well, I've got some stuff I can go over here. Here you go. In the next broadcast, some more arrests in Russia, very high level people. But, you know, we got June coming. Let me see what I'm missing in chats. Just scrolling through the chats. They had, it was 3 of them rolling, you think? You might be right. I think it was 3. But I think I got control of them now. Here we go. This is one. Trump demands drug tests for Biden ahead of first debate. Now that he's got everybody's attention after that Bronx rally. And I really think that the opposition has been stunned. They've been stunned. And they don't know how to handle it. They don't know how they're going to combat it. So they come up with this crap against Alito and stuff like that. Let me see. Oh, here's something. Mr. T retruthed. Santa surfing. I used to watch her all the time. And I recommend you all watch her if you get a chance. Sneak peek in tomorrow morning's podcast. Weasel Garland approved the Mar-a-Lago raid. We learned evidence was planted to frame Trump. We are now learning Garland approved lethal force on Trump or anyone, while the FBI DOJ plants evidence to frame Trump. Keep in mind those microfiber cameras. I mean, they have got, you better believe, they have got the top of the line surveillance at Mar-a-Lago. Very difficult to detect. The FBI and the Department of Justice do not have the authority to take any security tapes that Mr. T doesn't want them to have and the military doesn't want them to have. Because we're at WAR. Don't forget that. Mr. T said it plenty of times. And their domestic agency, oh, this is awful. Mr. T put this up too. God bless Davy and Natalie. Such a tragedy. Haiti is totally out of control. Find the KILLERS now. Newton County Republican Central Committee. Please pray for my friends, their other daughters and family and community. So this happened down in Haiti. Our heart's broken. My heart is broken in 1,000 pieces. I've never felt this kind of pain. Most of you know my daughter and son-in-law, Davy and Natalie Lloyd, are full-time missionaries in Haiti. They were attacked by gangs this evening and both lost their lives. This is from Ben Baker. They went to heaven together. Please pray for my family. We desperately need strength. And please pray for the Lloyd family as well. I have no other words for now. What a terrible loss. Missionaries in Haiti. I mean, talk about devoting your efforts, time, your precious time, and they devoted their very lives and left this world in a very brutal way with people they were trying to help. It reminds me of something I didn't talk about. When Fani Willis's father was testifying, putting forth these exaggerations that their house had been vandalized and trying to paint a scene of people coming out of the hills, remember? Well, something similar, that they were being persecuted by Trump supporters. And then he talked about his fealty to the South African government. And I remembered a young lady who was in South Africa when apartheid was on the way out. She was there, I believe, with the Peace Corps. And a gang got a crowd got a hold of her and put a tire around her neck and set it on fire. I'll never forget that. And you think about how they're redoing the fealty to George Floyd, the memorials and the shrines and worshiping. And people like this lose their lives and there's not a peep. It's terrible. So anyway, that was put out by Mr. T. And he put out something else about how the rally just pretty much stunned everybody. I think this is it. They're awful tiny in my studio. It's hard to tell what. This was a big, important, and even startling event. And yet much of the lamestream network media refused to cover it. Well, they covered it at the moment, but when it was all over with, they just walked away from it and started attacking Alito, and stupid nonsense. President Trump's electrifying South Bronx rally captivates the media with stunning images of 25,000 New York patriots. That's been upgraded, to almost 30. But anyway, courtesy of the Trump campaign. So they covered it, but they did walk away right when it was over. But we'll keep talking about it, and you can bet that those people in the Bronx are going to be talking about it for a long, long time. Hi, Roland. How you doing? Let's see, did I miss anybody? I think if I miss anybody saying hi, I apologize. And for everybody that watches the program afterwards, I appreciate you all spending your time. Please take a minute, hit the like button to help the video get around. I appreciate it. And let's see. Here is some of Biden's garbage. Somebody posted this on Utizzle with a bunch of laughing faces over it. Donald Trump and his MAGA Republican allies don't care about securing the border or fixing America's broken immigration system. If they did, they would have supported the toughest border enforcement in history. Instead, they put partisan politics ahead of our national security. What a flat-out lie. And the thing is, there's a lot of people that buy it, but the number is shrinking. People are being forced to use their common sense, being forced to listen to others, being forced to go to something. If something's more truthful and it's more exciting. Falsehoods over and over get boring. New truths are exciting, okay? So that's why, here's what somebody put up. Hit me up for pricing for my homeschool program. Got a bunch of little kids sitting around watching Alex Jones on InfoWars. I went ahead. Let me see. I want to put up here. Well, what is this one about? Wait a second. Oh, if y'all want to get a screenshot of this, this is a guy who replied to me about how great Smith was. I didn't get in this screenshot, I didn't get all of his comment, but part of it you can see Smith has 3 decades of experience as a prosecutor, starting as assistant attorney in New York City, working in sex crime and violent crimes office. His career also included a variety of roles at So he types all this crap out, or he cuts and pastes or whatever and puts it around on other people's social media. A practiced prattle and parroting of nonsense. I don't want people to put out a practiced parroting of nonsense. I just want people to be able to remember retorts. Who is Barry Soweto? Who used multiple social security numbers? What happened to the lady that, quote, verified certificate? Remember what happened to the lady? Trump's referred to her in at least 2, maybe 3 of his speeches. Okay? She passed away, the only person to lose her life in when a plane went down floating in the water. Everybody else did fine. Okay, she's the only one that perished. Okay, whose grandfather was a card-carrying communist? Who is Bill Ayers? Who wears a pinky ring to this day, praising Allah? Who built ISIS? What happened to SEAL and then team, and the other word is 6? I break that up because it gets me in trouble if I say it all together. What happened to Ambassador Stevens? And on. Not to mention a high school yearbook with a football player named Michael. Quote, don't know the whole name? U.S. Secret Service does. Jack is not his given name, just like Newsom and de Blasio. Watch. So I didn't hear a peep back from this person. So they may have been a bot. But if they weren't a bot, there's enough in here. I didn't have to look up nothing. I didn't have to read nothing. I had everything in my head. And a lot more not in my head. Yeah, it's the first time I heard that middle name, Wanda. I heard Michael Johnson. Somebody put, Robinson. Hi, jet lag. Michael Robinson's what I heard. And that was also mentioned in the chats last night. Michael Robinson. Or Michelle Robinson. I can't remember. We just call Big Mike, okay? Did y'all get to watch that Ted Cruz and Kennedy grilling that creep? Yeah, right here. See, Tim Pool, he's got a big audience. 41,000 views in 2 hours. Senators grill Biden judicial nominee over I'm going to call them grants tenders. Inmate transfer requests despite convictions, S3X convictions. And I guess he'll get into the fact that they're putting this person in a female facility. Hi, Chris. So anyway, those are big channels. Now I know why he walked the chalk and didn't take too many chances, so he could keep his channel up. Better than getting taken down. FBI raids office and business of controversial Soros-funded district attorney in Mississippi. Okay, this is like the fourth one I've heard about in the past week to 2 weeks. So, yeah, things are happening. Let's see how that progresses. But you can't help but be heartened by the turnout for Trump and how he planted those seeds in people's heads about military-age people coming with their own cook stoves. He said what they're doing has not been seen in this country before. And he brought up the specter of them building their own army. And he talked about how dangerous they were. And the people in the Bronx, when they all settle down and look back in their mental file cabinet and think about the other stuff Trump warned them about. Okay? So anyway, let's see. I appreciate everybody that helped out the channel. Mike and Bev and Gary tonight. And also Lone Wolf, Christopher. And Miss Sue helped out. Hilarious. Angela. Through the past couple weeks. I appreciate it. Wanda's helped out. Let's see. I want to put, I guess I'll close. I did, oh my gosh, I'm over an hour and a half and I never have gone that far before. In a while. Haven't gone that far in a while. But anyway, I'm going to play our favorite, one of our favorites, Putin Having a Little Bit of Fun. And I got to edit that so it won't be just a black screen showing. But anyway, folks, I appreciate you all spending your precious time with me. And I'll be seeing you soon. I'm expecting to be up probably Sunday night. We'll see. And unless something big happens, then I'll be up. I'll come up if something big happens. We'll see how it goes, folks. Until then, you all take care. This is Mountain Man, over and out. Want to play this? Okay. Come on. Okay. Do you want to play rough? Okay. Say hello to my little friend.